Hello and welcome to this edition of One on One. I'm Paranjoy Guha Thakurta in the studio of Lok Sabha Television here in New Delhi. On this program, we've featured politicians, economists, bureaucrats, people from different walks of life. But very rarely have we featured a person who holds a bachelor's degree in economics, has a degree in financial management, but what we're going to really talk to him about is not about economics and management, or not so much about economics and management, but more about yoga or yog and the power of yog. Let me welcome to the studio of Lok Sabha Television, Yogi Ji. Thank you very much, Yogi Ji, for coming here. It's my pleasure to have you here in the studio of Lok Sabha Television. And Yogi Ashwini Ji, you have founded and set up Dhyan Yoga, which has a retreat in different parts of the country, but also in Rajasthan's Shahpura district. The first question I want to ask you, is yoga a science, or is it like other forms of physical or mental exercises? In what way is yoga different from other kinds of physical or mental exercises?
Yoga, what we call is the ultimate science. And why do I call it the ultimate science? Because when you use the word science, it actually means what? You deduce something, you have laws, you have hypothesis. Yoga is something which has been tried and tested for the last 22,000 years. 4,500 years back, it was documented. Since it is still existing till now, and in the purest form that it was existing 22,000 years back, is enough and ample proof of its authenticity and power.
Okay.
Now, I'll just come to one more thing. When you use the word science, and if you compare it with any other science, modern science, if I'll just take the help of geometry, you cannot have a straight line. When geometry was given, they said a straight line is a fact, it's a law. But now they say you are living on a curve. So there is no such thing as a straight line.
It's the shortest distance between 2 points.
Yeah, but when you live on a curve, Earth is a sphere. So how do we draw a straight line on a sphere? We're living on a sphere ultimately, no? Then the theory goes
in 2 dimensions.
Yeah, we are talking about 2 dimensions only, no? The theory will go down the drain because all your buildings are based primarily on 2 dimensions only.
Now, what I want to ask you is there are many schools of yoga. There is Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Sahaj Yoga, Kriya Yoga, all kinds of schools of yoga. How do you distinguish? I mean, I understand you have focused on and practiced and propagated Ashtanga Yoga. How is this different from the other schools of yoga, and why do we have so many schools?
You see, since my background is economics, I'll just take the help of the theory of innovations and inventions. One who invents does not make the money. One who innovates makes all the money. You go on changing something, change the color, change the form, and you can sell it better, can sell it more, something new in the market. Ashtanga Yoga is the oldest form of yoga. It was propagated by Patanjali Rishi 4,500 years back, documented at that point of time, and it consists of 8 limbs. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. And all the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga in totality take a being to the subtler layers of creation. Now, when you talk of any other form of yoga, they've all originated, or they're kind of offshoots, or kind of innovations of Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga. So we have gone to the root of yoga, which is Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, and taken it from there straight, as per the Guru Shishya Parampara, as was propagated 4,500 years back.
Okay, as you rightly pointed out, it's many thousands of years old in this country. How do you explain the recent popularity of yoga in different parts of the world, particularly the West? And how do you explain the popularity of yoga among the rich and the elite, so that today yoga or yoga has become a multi-billion-dollar business? How do you explain it?
I will attribute that to innovation again. Yoga was never bought or sold in this country, and yoga was practiced by nearly every household in this country since the beginning. It is not like that it's becoming popular only now. It has been popular since then. It's just that since we have been under foreign rule for so long, when a white man does something, we want to ape, we want to copy that. After the Hare Ram Hare Krishna movement, when they started doing all those things, which they were calling it in the form of yoga also, after that, people in this country realized that why don't we do all this also? So the majority and the masses, what you call, they started following it.
Are you saying it's as simple as the colonial influence? That because India was under colonial rule for a few centuries, that we, in a sense, got excessively enamored of our colonial masters and forgot the ancient wisdoms of our society, which has been there for thousands of years.
Yeah, that's a fact actually. So we started copying them, aping them. Now if I tell you Ashtanga Yoga is the oldest form of yoga, like you wouldn't even have heard the name of Ashtanga Yoga. If I use the word Ashtang, you will take it as the limbs of the body. Normally I travel all over the world and I get this feedback. I'll give you a little very interesting anecdote I had. I had gone to Germany for an exhibition. We had been recommended by the government of India at ITB fair, and we were just giving an interview to the media there about yoga. And they said, show us yoga, show us yoga. I said, you look at me, that is yoga. They said, no, we want to see yoga. Then the anchor said, I don't think they understand yoga. I'm just telling you the sad part. I don't think they understand yoga. Let me show you yoga. So he stood on his head in Shirshasana there. He said, this is what is yoga. And this is what the problem is. We have taken the subject of yoga to such basic physical dimensions that we do not understand anything more than what is physical. It just does not get inside our head.
So you mean that people have got obsessed with the physical part of yoga? That, okay, it's a good exercise to keep your body trim, to keep the different organs of your body in a healthy condition. But the world over, I think any sensible person will tell you that your body and your mind are intimately interlinked, and you cannot separate what's happening up there, what's happening down there. Is this such a difficult thing for people to understand?
The problem is to go up here. It's only very few who can do that, who can understand that much. If one can understand just this much what you have said, this can change the complete scenario of yoga. It is such an apt statement actually to make. That this and this is not different. But we have made this and this to be different. If you completely take the modern medical science also, if you have a headache, they will do what? They will suppress it. They will not treat this. They will just do the suppressive theory. They will just suppress it with medicines again and again. Any pain, they say, kill it.
But I thought it was a very old saying which says, you know, a healthy body and a healthy mind are very closely linked and associated with each other.
Yeah, they definitely are. But when you talk about the mind, what is the mind? For a normal person, the mind is, like if I ask you, what is the mind? What will you tell me?
That's a difficult question to answer because you can have many interpretations of what
Simple
is
interpretation, what is the mind?
It's
Or what is the brain? Let's make
what
it
is
more
the
simple.
the brain is a grey matter which is inside your cranium, but it is the most important.
What does it do to you? What does it do to you?
It controls every single aspect of your body, and it does more than
And
that.
what
also.
percent of brain is active?
A very small proportion of the brain.
7 to 8.